we here? Are we alive? Are you here? Am I here? Are we actually here? Is Elden Ring here? Let's get some game audio. There we go. There's the iconic main theme. Hello, 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 everybody. Good morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're in the world. Hi, Lumi here, and welcome back to more Elden Ring, where we are on the cusp of starting the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. That's right, before the end of the year, before the end of 2025, although if you're watching this on YouTube, it's probably 2026, we will be starting Shadow of the Erdtree. However, we do have one obstacle in the way. I said I wanted to do every single boss in the base game, aside from the final boss before starting the DLC, and we have one obstacle in front of us. And that obstacle is Godfrey, the first Elden Lord. Perfect timing on the music there. We gave him a couple of goes on the previous stream, and we did make some pretty good progress. We got to phase 3 consistently, but it's really just nailing down that final part of the fight where he goes full Horyalu mode, and then that'll be it. So if we do manage to beat him early in this stream, we're not going to be starting Shadow of the Erdtree. We are instead going to be swapping over to Elden Ring Night Reign, because I don't really feel like starting the DLC until later in the week, until like after Christmas has happened and everything. I just want to save, a big occasion for later in the week. But welcome into stream, everyone. It's so lovely to see you all around. Hope you're all doing alright. Hello to my amazing wife, Moon, and thank you so much for the 30 stream streak. Hello, Melissa, and hello, Violet. It's lovely to see you around, and thank you for the patties, Melissa. And also, hello, V. Waking up to ash and fire, I wipe my brow, and I sweat my rust. I'm breathing in the victory. Yeah, that's gonna be me, V. That's gonna be me. Don't know what you mean by just asking Discord there, Violet. I do have a Discord server, if that's what you're asking. Let me quickly promote that, if that's what you were asking about. And yeah, let's just get straight into things. There's two things that I actually want to do, though, before we reattempt Godfrey. Apparently there is a somber ancient dragon smithing stone exclusive to Lanedale, the Ashen Capital, and I kind of want to collect that. And also, Bokka's still here in the Ashen Capital. He doesn't have new dialogue or anything, but I do want to go and meet him again here at the Ashen Capital, because the grace that he's normally at was deactivated once we set free the Rune of Death. So I do want to go and say hi to Bok again. Bok will uplift our spirits and get us ready to face Godfrey again. But yeah, I do hope that everyone's doing alright. That applies to lurkers, VOD watchers as well. I am doing pretty okay. Energy levels are the standard, so we're just gonna jump straight into things, and who knows, this could be potentially the shortest Elden Ring stream that we do. It could be the shortest that we do. It could be 30 minutes, because all I'm really planning to do in this stream is just beat Godfrey, read item descriptions, and then we'll swap to Night Reign if we have spare time. But the Elden Ring, like the base Elden Ring section of this stream, could potentially be just like 30 minutes. We'll see, though. And hey, Glitch, it's lovely to see you around. Hope you're doing alright as well. In fact, no, I gotta give you a shout out, and then I'll boot up my save file. I promise. Yeah, hope you're doing alright. It's lovely to see you around. Alright, so we're gonna be spawning in at the grace closest to Godfrey, which is in the royal bedchamber here. But yes, before we go and attempt Godfrey again, let's quickly go meet Bok here again, and let's also get that ancient somber smithing stone, because I mean, it could potentially be handy. I know that I have a ton of them already, but it's nice to know where it is anyway for future playthroughs. Just vibing, hoping no snow tonight. Yeah, fingers crossed. Yeah, bad to the bone riff. Yep. That's basically Godfrey's theme. Just bad to the bone. Yeah, so the Somber Smithing Stone should be around here-ish. I think it was northwest from this opening here. or more specifically, it's the dragon. You can actually climb up the dragon, or not up the dragon, but you can kind of climb it a little bit, and that leads to the Somber Smithing Stone. And this one is exclusive to the Ashen Capital. This one's not available in the standard Royal Capital. Try to beat Godfrey's awesome style on him? Exactly. You should feel honored, Godfrey. You have your own dedicated stream where I'm gonna beat your ass. And Godfrey's like, but Melania got like 3 streams of you trying to beat her ass. Yeah, but unlike you, Godfrey, Melania was pretty difficult. I mean, don't get me wrong, Godfrey's pretty difficult as well, but he seems so much more doable. His moves are so much more, like, intuitive to figure out. I think... Is it this way? There should be a gargoyle near the smithing stone. Yep, there it is. So, there's the smithing stone, but let's just kill this gargoyle anyway while we're here. Think of it like a combat warm-up, you know? Getting back into the flow of the combat for our first attempt at Godfrey. Alright, that is the follow-up. I don't think it's an Elden Ring hot take to say these gargoyles are annoying. Especially the duo gank fight with them. Although I didn't struggle on it that much. I know that a lot of players did, especially Moon, because she was like kind of underprepared for it. Like gank fights can be annoying because they can just feel like stat checks sometimes. It's like, can you kill the enemies before they kill you? Right, there we go. Let's head over here now. Something like under half your level when you did it? Yeah. Like, you could take them on one by one, but 2 at once with your, like, current stats and everything was a bit much. There we go. There's an extra somber Ancient Dragon Smithing Stone that you can only get in the Ashen Capital. Okay, now for finding Bok again. I think if we just go from the Capital Rampart Grace and just continue along the main path, we should be able to find Bok again. As I said before, he doesn't have new dialogue or anything. He's just still here. Like, the capital literally got burnt to ash and he's still hanging out. Well, that is assuming that you do the good ending on his questline. Usually I don't struggle with taking on 2 at once. So true, my darling. He says, Big Axe, Earth Stomp? Yeah, that's Godfrey-like. So you might recognize all of this here. This is all very familiar. And then we come out here. And the landscape has completely changed. Yeah, there's only like 4 items that get added here. In the Ashen version, and there's a couple of items that get removed. As the result of story events here. But the main one to get before it disappears is the Bolt of Grand Sacks. Anyway, here's the Grace. And there's Bok. And actually, I do have a piece of armor I want him to alter, so...
Bok the Seamster, at your service, my lord. Ready to make adjustments to your garments.
I love you, Bok. I want him to adjust Bernal's chest piece that we actually got last stream. Because it doesn't start with a cape, but you can give it a cape. Where is it? Knight's Cavalry Armor. Yeah, there we go. We can give a cape to it and actually boost its stats. I don't know if the description changes. No it doesn't, but I mean, I guess I'll read it again, because why not? Beast Champion Armor. Silver armor engraved with tiny beasts, worn by Bernal the Recusant. Beasts are drawn to champions and to lords, and this armor befits a champion worthy of becoming a lord. And that is what Bernal was, until his maiden threw herself into the fire. So yeah, he has kind of like an almost opposite or parallel story to Vike's, where Vike sacrificed himself to the Frenzied Flame to protect his maiden, whereas Bernal's maiden threw herself into the Forge of the Giants at some point, presumably, and it didn't work, it didn't do anything. And that could potentially be why he turned to being a recusant and joining the Volcano Manor. But yes, you get to add a really cool blue cape to this, and Bok lets you do altar for free, so let's just do that.
Going already, my lord. Please do be safe on your journeys.
I love Bok so much. And I do actually want to see what that chest piece looks like. Oh wait. I gotta go to my equipment. Okay, well I know what the icon looks like now. And it's here. Yeah, like look at the cape on. In fact, let me just take off my shield. Like this chest piece kind of fucks. It's got a really cool cape as well. Yeah, it looks really good. I've heard people like pairing it with like Melania's armor. So like this chest piece and then some of Melania's gear. Apparently it looks really good. I mean, even just this with like the Crucible armor set looks so good. Hi Athena, it's lovely to see you around. There was a line of dialogue super early in the game that hints towards why Melina worked as kindling and the other maiden didn't. Yeah, it's because it's very, very obvious that yes, Melina's mother is Marika. Although there's also a theory that Melina is the Gloam-Eyed Queen, and there's a couple of pieces of evidence that do point towards that. But the one thing that we do know for absolute certain is that, like, regardless of whether it's a theory or not, this is just 100% confirmed, but yes, Melina is Marika's offspring. The two aren't necessarily mutually exclusive. Exactly, yeah. I don't know how to feel about Melina as the Gloam-Eyed Queen. I see the evidence for it, and I get it. But then I don't understand why the game doesn't do anything with that information. I don't know. Maybe in the DLC we'll get some more Melina lore. Anyway, that's everything I wanted to do before going back to reattempting Godfrey. We will rewatch his phase transition cutscene just because it's awesome. And, yeah, let's just go on ahead. So as I said, this could potentially be one of the shortest Elden Ring streams, because as soon as we beat Godfrey, we're going to read item descriptions, and then we're going to swap to Night Rain, in the case, because I don't really feel like starting the DLC just yet, and I'm not doing the final boss of the base game until we're done with the DLC. Because I want to roll credits on the game when we're actually done with all of the content in the game. But yeah, it's the classic From Software lack of information. Alright. You don't have to sit at the Grace, I think. Just fast traveling to it sets it as your spawn point. Check out loadout. Yep. Godfrey just mostly does standard damage, like physical damage, so the Dragon Crest Great Shield Talisman is completely fine. Yeah, let's just go. Alright, hey Godfrey. Let's run this back. Now, these first two phases are pretty simple. It's just the third one I was struggling on the most. Ow! Okay, gotta lock in. Right, you do not roll backwards on his stomp. At least in the first phase. Alright, that is follow-ups. Yeah, he puts his leg on his axe. There we go. There we go, and we punish this. And I think one more hit, we're in phase 3. Nope. Follow-ups. There we go. I'll talk over the cutscene, but I just wanted to rewatch this here. I love how cinematic modern From Software fights are.
That will be all. Thou didst me good service, Sarosh.
Yeah, I'm sorry I keep mispronouncing Sarosh. But yeah, he kills Sarosh and strips off his armor, and now he's fighting as Horayalu, warrior. Luminous Lee, warrior. Yeah, this is the phase that I'm scared of the most. He just becomes a fighting game grappler.
Courtesy enough. Now I fight as Horalu. Warrior!
Alright, please don't get grabbed within 2 seconds of the phase starting. He didn't grab me! Ooh, this is huge. This is a huge start. Okay, so the strat is just to run away for this, I realized. Oh no. I'm getting slam dunked! Oh! But this phase is a fucking mad scramble. Oh, what, that hits from... What? Okay, so that's a full screen stomp. Sorry, I'm talking about him like he's a fighting game character, because he kind of is. He's got a full screen stomp when he gets his install. I'm just saying, like, an Elden Ring fighting game would go so hard. Imagine, like, Godfrey, and, like, he has an install where it's like, if you land a specific attack, he goes into Horalu mode and just becomes a grappler. But not bad for a first attempt to stream. Yep, that's Potemkin falling down. Oh yeah, it is! Like, Slide Edge or whatever it's called. Thank you for the raid, Creeper. I really do appreciate it. We'll get some shoutouts in a moment. But hopefully the raid buff works this time. Hope you had a wonderful time with your stream, and if you got a raid and run, totally understandable. If you got a raid and lurk, understandable as well. Just locked in on fighting Godfrey at the moment. Which is the last boss we're doing here in the base game of Elden Ring before moving on to the DLC later in the week. Oh no, I'm messing up my roll timings. But just a quick self-intro. Hi, I'm Lumi. I'm a Hotly Night VTuber. I do playthroughs of RPGs and Souls-likes, and I dabble in variety games as well. And this is a first-time Elden Ring playthrough. I'll go into the more specifics in a bit. But for now, let's go to Phase 3. In fact, I can talk during the phase transition here, because I've seen the cutscene before. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. Welcome in Pink Fluffy Rambo. Welcome in Creeper. Creeping on in. You sure are. I hope you had a wonderful time with your stream. Alright, let's just do this Phase 3 attempt. I will get those shoutouts and everything done after either I fail or win this one. We'll see if the raid helps me out here. It's just, Horror Lou is scary. Ow. Oh no. Oh no, I'm getting dunked. Alright, that's like an active hitbox when he roars. Oh no, I might be dead. Okay, oh, I survived that. Nice. That's kind of hard to dodge at. Oh. I could not react to the kick. I got my grandma reaction speed, but I'm happy that that attempt failed so that I can actually stop and have a breather before we inevitably win. Let me sit down at this, Grace. It was nice. We beat some Night Rain bosses really fast. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, let me get some shoutouts in here proper now. There we go. Streaming some Night Rain. If you're not following Creeper Kev already, you can do so with the follow button at the top of chat and also the link in chat. Thank you so much for coming in, and thank you so much for supporting my stream. I really, really do appreciate it. And yes, as I said before, if you got a raid and run, if you got a raid and lurk, totally understandable. We are a very lurker-friendly environment here. I don't do sound redeems or anything. I don't do, like, you know, screaming or raid alerts or whatever. We're just nice and chill and low energy here. And yes, being a bit more specific, this is a first time blind 100% all bosses playthrough of Elden Ring, including the Shadow of the Erd Tree expansion. It is a lore focused playthrough, so we've been reading every single item description, we've been doing every single NPC questline, and we are here doing the, from what I understand, the second last boss of the base game, which is Godfrey here. And once we defeat Godfrey, we will be swapping to Elden Ring Night Rain, because I want to start the Shadow of the Erd Tree expansion a little bit later in the week, after Christmas time has happened and all that. So thank you so much for raiding in, and please do take care of yourselves. Yes, welcome in, warriors. Gotta clear my throat. My buddies nearly insta-killed Draconic Tree Sentinel before I got to the fight. It was wild. I do need some snacks. It is pretty late. Yes, please do take care of yourself. We're also an 18+ community here, so, you know, we do talk about adult stuff. We do you know, talk NSFW things as much as allowed within, you know, Twitch's rules. But yeah, we're just doing Godfrey attempts. And that was a really, really good run there. Or Horaloo attempts, because that's his actual name. Before he became Elden Lord. Put on the gamer hat? I sure can do that. Thank you for the redeem. Just gotta quickly vanish my model here. I like to do all of this stuff, not automatically, manually. Let me put on that tiny little gamer hat. It's a very small gamer hat. It's shrunk in size ever since I swapped from PNG tubing to 3D VTubing. Bam! There we go. Yeah, this is the run. I got the gamer hat. I got the raid buff. Yeah. Let's just see how things go. Ow. Sometimes the move comes out a little bit faster than I expect it to. Just sneak in my heals there. I think, no, we probably can't jump the eruption. I'm just thinking how I can get some more damage in. Because obviously, the faster you kill your opponent...
'Twas nobly fought.
That wasn't the run. But as I was saying, the more damage you get in, the quicker your opponent dies. And then the less room you have for mistakes. Now, what Creeper actually meant was... this run. This is the run. No, I don't want to hype myself up by saying this is the run, because it'll just happen on a random attempt. It won't be like a specific attempt, it's just one of these ones I will somehow lock in and make no mistakes. I think Godfrey is like, you know, like fairly reasonable in terms of difficulty. It's really just a matter of perfecting the fight. And oh my goodness, another raid. Thank you so much, Hidden Donut. Get you shoutouts and whatnot after this attempt. Thank you so much for raiding in. I do hope you had a wonderful time with your stream. If you got a raid and run, totally understandable. But thank you so much for bringing your community here regardless. Just a quick intro in case people are new here. Hi, I'm Lumi. I'm a Hot Lady Night VTuber. I do playthroughs of RPGs and Souls-likes, and I also like to play whatever my current hyperfixations are, so variety genres as well. And, yeah, we're fighting Godfrey. So I'll just let the gameplay do the talking. And the gameplay did do the talking. Thank you for doing the shoutouts, man. Welcome in, everyone. It's so lovely to see you around. Rated in just in time to watch me get squished. Let me see. Thank you for doing all the shoutouts, man. And welcome in Set Out of the Tree. Welcome in Quinn Tobin. It's lovely to see you around. And I hope you had a wonderful time with Rabbit and Steel. God, I love Godfrey. Yeah, he's cool. He's got aura. He's a very fair fight as well. He just hits like a truck, but like that's just Elden Ring in general. Rabbit and Steel, I'm so excited for the DLC when it'll come. Likewise. Rabbit and Steel is an absolutely wonderful game. Yeah, if you're not following Hidden Donut already, you can do so with the follow button that was at the top of chat and also the link that is still in chat now. Thank you so much for raiding in, and thank you so much for trusting your community with me once more. And yes, if you get a raid and run, please take care of yourself. Do not feel pressured to stick around at all. And yes, to elaborate what I was saying before, yes, we're fighting Godfrey. This is a first time blind 100% all bosses playthrough of Elden Ring, including the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC expansion. It is also a lore-centric playthrough, so we have been reading every single item description, we've been doing every single NPC questline, and this fight here against Godfrey is the last thing that we can do in the base game that isn't the final boss of the whole entire game. So the plan for this stream is hopefully to defeat Godfrey, and read his item descriptions and whatnot, and then later in the week we will be starting the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC expansion. We'll be playing through all of that, doing all the bosses, doing all the NPC quest lines in it, and then we'll be coming back to the base game to do the final boss and ending of Elden Ring. So thank you so much for rating in, I really, really do appreciate it, and yeah, it's just Godfrey. The delay is killing me. I'm glad it's so close to coming out. Yeah, I hope the developer takes their time with it, because it'll be worth the wait. And there's so many other games to play in the meantime. Alright, well, now with 2 raids under my belt, and the gamer hat on my head, hopefully we'll have some better luck with this attempt. We've gotten very close to winning the fight multiple times in the 3rd phase. I call it the 3rd phase because he kind of has 2 phases before he strips off his armor and, you know, fully embraces his warrior side as Horlu. But I have the reaction speed of a goldfish. So sometimes I just roll a bit too late on some of these attacks, even though I know all of his attacks for his phases now. Okay, I just want to back off here and fight a bit closer to the center just so we don't have camera issues. But yeah, now I will actually try to lock in and look impressive. So we could just back off for a lot of the Quake moves instead of trying to dodge them. There we go. Alright, nice. We are into phase 3 now. Thank you for the Patty's Copper Huntress, and welcome in Julie. He doesn't look like he wants to have tea. No. Especially in phase 3 here. Look at this beast! Yeah, thankfully the roar doesn't do any damage, but this will if I get hit. Oh no, I rolled a bit too late. Yeah, this is the phase where I run away and scream. Oh no, I'm so dead here. Oh, that was very, very close. I'm on the cusp of victory. It's just, you know, cleaning up those mistakes. Yeah, Godfrey's a very fair fight. He's just very punishing. think calling it a 3-phase fight is fair. Yeah, because he does the, like, Harayalu scream or whatever that, like, powers up his stomps in the first phase and makes them hit the entire arena. Transition to Horalu is probably one of my favorite pace changes. Yeah, it really puts you, like, on the defensive because he's just rushing you down. Because it makes sense, you know, like, he had his Beast Regent Serosh on his shoulder to remind himself to never lose himself to the lust and love for battle. But in the phase transition, which we're skipping that cutscene now, he kills Serosh, and thus he strips off his armor and embraces his warrior side. Like, see, in phase 1 he's pretty chill. He just kind of lore walks towards you. That's a term I've heard, and I will never not use it. It's just lore walking. Or, like, aura farm walking. He's gonna... Oh, sometimes he goes into Quakes after that. There we go. Yeah, so I call this phase 2 because the stomp gets powered up. Ah, no, I didn't get away from it. I needed to run to my left. There we go. Alright. Phase 3 is gonna start with the grab. And now my difficulty is finding a window to heal. Which I might not get. Oh no, no, this is a window. No, it's not. No, it's not. I'm dead. I lived. Oh no. Goodbye. I lived! Horalu, you can't keep doing this to me! You put me on the brink of death! Oh no, that grabs me. Nope, I got it. I found the perfect time to sneak in the heal. I'm getting hit. Yeah. Oh, don't get greedy. Don't get greedy. Oh no, I'm out of Crimson Flasks.
Brave, tarnished. Thy strength befits a crown.
We did it! There we go! That is Horalu, also known as Godfrey the First Elden Lord, defeated within the first hour of stream. Nice. Time for victory, exactly. Thy strength befits a crown, it does. Oh, yeah, great fight. Honestly, one of my favorites of the base game. The try was cinematic. It was. It came down to the final few hits there. Now you know how to fight GBVSR Wilness. Basically, yeah. He's the big-bodied, hard-hitting grappler. Although I don't think Wilness is a grappler in Versus. But there we go, we did it. Thank you so much for cheering me on, everyone. Alright, so yeah, we're here at the Elden Throne. We can just put a point into Arcane. In case you're wondering what kind of build we're going for, it is mostly just a Strength Faith build. We are currently using, and we're going to continue using, Radagon's Source Seal for the +5 into Vigor, Endurance, Strength, and Dex. So those are basically at their final soft caps, if I've, like, done the number crunching correctly. Mine is, like, very, very close to one of the major soft caps, so we're just not touching that anymore. I never level Intelligence when I play Souls games, and our faith is in a pretty stable spot right now, so I decided that because I do have the Nagakiba equipped as one of my weapons, and I would like to be able to actually inflict status effects on enemies, we're leveling Arcane up to 20, and then we're going to keep dumping points into Faith for the rest of the game. And that's kind of it. Oh, there we go. So yes, from what I understand, Past the Thorns there is the final boss of Elden Ring, full stop. But this is where we finish our journey in the base game, for now. We will not progress the main story past this point. Because we're not ready to become Elden Lord yet. We have some unfinished business in the Realm of Shadow. But before then, let me catch up in chat. We will look at the item description of the Remembrance of Horalu. We'll look at the stuff that we can make from it, and then we will swap on over to some Elden Ring Night Rain for the rest of stream. Moon says he doesn't have any special grapples, just a lot of overhead low mix. It's a very plus moves, good spacing traps. Hits low a lot like Godfrey. I see, I say. He's got the sweep kick. It'll be a glorious day when Lumi has enough faith for, yeah, Placido Sucks Ruin. Exactly. Yeah, we just need, how many more levels do we need? We need 4 more levels, and then we're gonna go back to leveling faith. So that in Shadow of the Erdtree, we'll be able to use a whole bunch of strength stuff, obviously, and we'll be able to use a whole bunch of faith stuff as well. Alright, let's take a look at our loot. Remembrance of Horalu. Remembrance of the warrior Horalu, hewn into the Erdtree. The power of its namesake can be unlocked by the Finger Reader. Alternatively, it can be used to gain a great bounty of runes. When Godfrey, first Elden Lord, was robbed of his grace, becoming tarnished, he took with him his kinfolk and left the lands between. After the long march of the Tarnished came to an end, Godfrey divested himself of kingship, becoming a simple warrior once more. So this is a story event that we knew about actually from very early on in the campaign. Yes, where Marika took away Godfrey's grace and said, hey, go and leave the lands between, go and kill and pillage in other lands, and one day I will return to you your grace, and you will come back to the lands between. And that explains why he came back to the lands between, but he wasn't given his grace back. He just came back because he's like, oh shit, things are happening in the lands between. My Godfrey signal's going off. I gotta get my ass over there. And so he's the chieftain of the Badlands, Horalu. So like if you pick champion as your starting class with like the champion armor set and all that, your character basically originates from the tribe that Godfrey went on to essentially establish, and I don't think we're fully certain whether he's biologically related to Nefeli or not, but Nefeli also being tarnished and also, you know, being Nefeli Lu, kind of makes me think that she is one of Godfrey's children. Many, many children. Godfrey has a lot of kids. He's got Nefeli, Morgott, Moog, Godwin. he was having a lot of sex with Radigan / Marika, but primarily just Radigan. Because who wouldn't? We've seen statues of Radigan. Guy's ripped. But yeah, that's that for the Remembrance, and now we'll head to the Round Table Hold. We'll take a look at the stuff that we can make from it, and that'll be all of the progress we make today. Because I don't want to start the DLC today. If we have no info than their same name, I wouldn't. Yeah, because the DLC is like, it's a big deal, it's massive. Out of frauds don't get this coochie. oh, I see. You're talking about not banging Radigan. I thought you were just suggesting that I don't start the DLC on this stream. Yeah, and you can summon Nefeli for this fight if you do her quest line. I mean, the fact that she also becomes like heir to Limgrave also kind of feeds into the theory that they are biologically related. But yeah, the point is they do seem to have a father-daughter relationship, whether it's biological or not. And who cares if it's biological or not? Nefeli's awesome. We love her. Hi, Sharks. It's lovely to see you around. Wild word I just heard joining the stream, banging Radigan. Yeah, exactly. Horalu was having so much sex with Radigan. This is just lore. It's just canon lore. But yeah, there we go. That is the Remembrance of Horalu. I'm just looking at the description again. Okay. Yeah, this is the Radagussi safe zone. Alright. So the Round Table Hold now, which is in a terrible state. Hugh has forgotten who we are. Roderick is sticking around because obviously Hugh means so much to her. And... what else? Oh yeah, Ennia's dead. Which really sucks. And the Two Fingers are still having a Skype call with the Greater Will. Alright, let's take a look at Remembrance of Horalu. What can we get from it? Starting with the Axe of Godfrey. Weapon of Godfrey, Elden Lord. It was broken in a battle fought as leader of the Tarnished during the Long March. This weapon is symbolic of Godfrey's vow to conduct himself as a lord, later becoming an emblem of the Golden Lineage. In the days of the past, a crown was warranted with strength, and the unique skill is Regal Roar. Let loose a mighty war cry, raising attack power while sending out a shockwave that cannot be guarded against by stomping the ground. While active, strong attack becomes a lunging slash. Yep, this is a colossal weapon, 42 strength requirement, just pure physical damage. I've used this a bunch in Night Rain. It's really fun. It hits hard, and yes, it's quite powerful. Okay. So yeah, just a little bit of extra lore there from the weapon being broken, which actually, I did realize, or like I had it pointed out off stream, that when you fight the golden version of Godfrey, like the vision of him, the axe is actually in its properly repaired state. It's not damaged. It's double bladed, whereas this one is only single bladed. So potentially that leads into a theory that perhaps that projection was created before Godfrey left the Lands Between as sort of like a safeguard to protect the Elden throne. And of course, like, Morgott is also protecting the Elden throne, but I mean, that's 2 layers of security, so that's what I imagine, at least, for why there was a spectral version of Godfrey that we fought, especially with the axe detail. Okay. Alright, moving on to the next description here. Ash of War, Horalu's Earthshaker. This Ash of War grants an armament the Heavy Affinity and the following skill. Horalu's Earthshaker. Slam both hands onto the ground to violently shake the earth and unleash a shockwave. Follow up with an additional input to slam the ground again, usable on all melee armaments. I'd imagine Spectral Godfrey was meant to hide Godfrey's departure too. Yeah, that's also true. Okay, so that's a 16 FP cost, and it's also 16 FP to do the follow-up. If I were to take anything from the Remembrance, I'd probably just take the axe. Well, that's kind of it. Oh, and can we get Godfrey's armor? Yeah, we can, baby! The Elden Lord armor. Ooh, Elden Lord crown. Elden Lord crown. Crown of Godfrey, the first Elden Lord. The Age of the Erdtree began amongst conflict, when Godfrey was lord of the battlefield. He led the war against the giants, faced the Storm Lord alone, and then there came a moment when his last worthy enemy fell, and it was then, as the story is told, that the hue of the Lord Godfrey's eyes faded. And that's when he had his grace taken from him. Okay. Alright, and then moving on to Elden Lord armor. Oh, okay, so it's just same description here. Yeah, Armor of Godfrey, first Elden Lord. Age of Erdtree began amongst conflict when Godfrey was lord of the battlefield. Led the war against the giants, faced the Storm Lord alone, and then there came a moment when his last worthy enemy fell, and then it was then, as the story is told, that the hue of Lord Godfrey's eyes faded. Yep, Elden Lord bracers, those are all the exact same, and I'm guessing the greaves are the exact same as well. Okay, so yeah, we kind of have a bit better of a timeline now, because I was struggling. I was like, when did all of these wars take place chronologically? And I'm pretty sure the war against the giants happened first, and then it was the war against the dragons after, when Grand Sax breached the walls of Leyndell. Well, that's everything there. We don't have anything to upgrade. Roderica doesn't have any more dialogue. Hugh doesn't have any more dialogue. Because this is basically the end of the base game. Back in 2022. Like, you just go and do the final boss, and then that's the end of the game. A bit unceremonious, almost. You're just going through a boss rush at the end. That's also exciting in its own way.
Smithing.
Yeah, can't really do anything with Hugh here. So next time, we will be starting the Shadow of the Erdtree DLC. We're going to be going to this grace here, the Cocoon of the Empyrean, and we're going to be talking to Needle Knight Letta and going to the Shadowlands. I was about to say the Shadow Realm. Very, very exciting. Alright, so that is this first portion of the stream all done with. And yeah, I'll take a stretch and hydrate break, and when we come back from that break, we're gonna swap to some Elden Ring Night Rain. So technically we're playing an Elden Ring DLC, just the Night Rain DLC instead. It's close enough, right? Right? Alright, yes. I'm gonna go for a little stretch and hydrate break. I will see you all then. And then, yes, we'll be back later in the week after Christmas time, after Boxing Day, to start the Elden Ring DLC. So, I'll catch you all after the break for some Elden Ring Night Rain. See you all then.